So in the previous video, we looked into how to add and subtract algebraic terms. If you haven't watched that video, I highly recommend that you do so. You can find the link to that video at the top right corner of my screen and in the description below. In this video, we'll be looking into multiplying and dividing algebraic terms. However, in this video, we'll be not discussing a lot of questions on multiplying and dividing algebraic terms, because that will be done in the next video once I introduce the laws of indices. This video is just to give you an idea as to how multiplication and division is different from addition and subtraction. Let's have a look at an example. So let's say 5x times 2y. Now in the previous video, when we were adding and subtracting algebraic terms, I mentioned that you cannot add or subtract algebraic terms unless they are like terms. So there was a condition. So when it comes to adding and subtracting algebraic terms, there is a condition that they must be like terms. But for multiplication and division, there is no such condition. It doesn't matter if they are like terms or unlike terms, you can always simplify them and write it in a simplest way. So in this question, 5x times 2y, the way you do it is you multiply the number by the number and the variable by the variable. The answer is going to be 5 times 2, which is 10, and x times y is just going to be xy. Now notice that I have put x and y together. You would have noticed the same pattern of writing even in my previous video, where I add terms like 2xy and 3xy together to put 5xy together, right? So if you consider this term only 2xy or 3xy only or 5xy only, what that means is it says that it is 2 times x times y. So when you're putting a term together as xy, what it's really doing is it's multiplying with each other, x times y. And since x is unknown and y is unknown, we don't really have a known value for that, so we just write it as xy. And what we're doing here is just breaking that down and showing you that this is how that 10xy came about. This is how that 2xy came about. So this 2xy might have come maybe by multiplying 2x with 1y, or maybe 0.5x with 4y. There are countless similar possibilities on how you could get to this answer 2xy. But the idea here is that this 2xy is a result of multiplying two algebraic terms. So that's what we are really exploring here. When you multiply two algebraic terms, whether they are like terms or unlike terms, what you really do is that you multiply the numbers together and then you multiply the variables together and write it as one answer. Now let's look at another example where we multiply two like terms. For example, 3x times 4x. Now the rule is no different. We multiply the number by the number. 3 times 4 is 12. And then we multiply the variable by the variable. Now x times x, you may think about it as xx, just like x times y is xy. X times x becomes xx. But there's a different way to write that. Let's imagine a number in that situation. Say 5. So xx is just like saying 5 times 5. We know that 5 times 5 is 25, but we also know that this could be written as 5 squared, because 5 squared means 5 times 5. And if I say 6 times 6, we know that that is 36, but that is also 6 to the power 2, or 6 squared. Now anyways, we'll be discussing more about exponents in our next video on indices. So at the moment, let's try to think of this number-based example and see if we can just apply it to the variables. If 5 times 5 is 5 squared and 6 times 6 is 6 squared, we can safely say that x times x can be written as x squared, just like how 5 times 5 is 5 squared and 6 times 6 is 6 squared. So this answer can be further simplified into 12x squared. Let's look at a few more examples. 4w squared times 5w cubed. Again, number times the number. So 4 times 5 is 20. Put the equal sign. And then w squared times w cubed. To understand this, we can think of it this way. We know w squared is w times w, right? And w cubed is w times w times w. What we are trying to say is when we are saying w squared times w cubed, we're just saying this expansion or this expression times this expression over here. So w times w multiplied by w times w times w. This is basically w times w times w times w times w 5 times. we can write this as w to the power 5. This is the definition of exponents itself. So we can say that this is w to the power 5. As I mentioned, we'll be looking into more of these in the next video. So once we've learned about the laws of indices and the idea behind how exponents work, we will look into more of multiplication division based questions involving algebraic terms. So I hope this gave you a basic idea of how multiplication of algebraic terms work, and we will see more of those in the next video. Hope you understood the lesson, and if you liked this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more similar videos. And also please feel free to comment below if you have any questions. And I'll see you in the next video.